Today I will take another look at this E-Flite air tractor. The air tractor then is a 1.5 meter wingspan RC airplane with nice LED lights and also with flaps. This one, I mean, I have two copies of this RC airplane. So one I have dedicated for float flying, and it's just a fantastic, you know, like it looks like a fire boss when you fly this one, really great. And then I have this one which I fly on wheels. So I mean, just let's go outside and get this one flying. Today I have a really lovely day. All blue sky, no wind, just fantastic time early in the morning, just before sunrise, and have this striking looking E-Flite air tractor. I mean, this is just a really sporty RC airplane, although being kind of this either a fire boss, firefighting real plane, or like a agriculture workhorse. But this plane is surely just able, and as you can see, the yellow then, I mean, just super visible, the shape of the RC airplane. It's quite a short RC airplane with a long wing. And I would also say that this plane, I mean, it's not the kind of the most beautiful RC airplane, I would say, if you just look at how it's the odd shape of the fuse and everything. But I really dig this air tractor. I think it's a intriguing, peculiar, and in my opinion then also a beautiful RC airplane. And more or less, what do you do with this plane? I mean, it does respond right away. Really able one, so I'm not flying this one anywhere near scale. I'm just tossing it around because I think it's so fun. And in mine also, I have replaced the speed controller, so I do have a 45 amp one to have telemetry readout on my Spektrum NX10 transmitter then. And this plane has a little bit of wonky flap settings because, I mean, every time I put this one together to do a number of flights, I have to adjust the flap setting, and this is the only plane I have to do it with. So there's something very peculiar, but you just get used to it and adjust them after a few flights. And as you can see, if you just have like the wrong angle, this one will surely bounce, and the landing gears might bend. So far they have just less nice. And today I actually have Dave Brown wheels, so these are just a tiny bit smaller than the stock wheels, but much softer. So I don't know if they really do anything to help during flight, but I just had to try them. And I know that some have just replaced their landing gears with kind of a carbon fiber type, and this plane would surely need some sort of landing gears that would flex. I could just look at how the landing gears are made on the MAL M7 from E-Flite, because they have a wide stance and they flex and absorb most landings, and it's the same wingspan as this RC airplane. I guess about the same weight as well. So with the flap settings then, full flaps, it flies really level without ballooning. But I didn't do half flaps because the half flap is a little bit odd. Usually have like 10% or 50% for like half flap, an elevator mix. Maybe 20 or 25, 30% and for elevator mix for full flaps, if you do them kind of 90 degrees down. But on this one, I mean, it's just really odd. So I think full flaps works fine. Half flaps is nothing I will care about anyway. So let's do another landing then. It's always interesting to get this one down. You really have to just get the right angle, just like that, and then you have a good landing. But if you end up just flaring too much, or not too much, it will bounce and it'll have kind of interesting behavior. So here comes another landing then. I'll try to get this one slow. But if you, I mean, it was quite good, but I had the wrong angle and then we just bounced. And I experienced this on a few RC airplanes. It is not really pretty looking. And when you do flare too much, it just starts to bounce. But yeah, so it was a good landing. So let's do another one. The thing is, I mean, this one will stall if you just pull too much elevator. So, I mean, just like that, if you just pull too much, it will just start to drop a wing. So it's kind of tricky just to get the right moment where you flare at the right speed. Otherwise, it will be an ugly landing. I mean, I flared a little bit too soon, and then I just had to plop it, and then it started to bounce. But that's life with this RC airplane. Any yellow RC airplane is so visible in the sky, and this is no exception. It's just a great color on this air tractor, and it's also a really speedy and able RC airplane. So I think that this is 1.5, and just comparing then the wingspan of this RC airplane, the wing cord isn't really too thick. So the one thing to watch out for this one is, I mean, you certainly can stall this one much sooner than if you would have like a thicker wing cord, but it's the design of the RC airplane, so just keep up speed and everything is fine. And then I think that these landing gears, they are super soft on this plane. So I mean, it's just easy. If you just bounce around, they would bend like crazy, and you have to just pull them to have them straight again. So it's not a huge issue because you can, just by bending them, rectify it. But I mean, the landing gears, it's just kind of odd with this RC airplane. So I will certainly just come back to this one and look and show more flights, because it's just a really fun and interesting and also just great looking when you see this one in the sky.